Hello my friends, welcome to another speed build video on this channel. Today we will see how I'm building house for the new upcoming event, which is called the Forever Friends, and it starts tomorrow on Tuesday 23rd of September. For any kind of event, I usually start with a new save file, and I do it for the purpose of the event because I want to prevent any kind of bugs, and I figure out that if I play with a new save file, I don't generally have troubles with it. And because I'm creating a new family with the new event, I also prevent that my family would have certain skills, for example, because sometimes we need to build new skills and it's part of the event. So I am starting with the brand new family that I created for this event, and I also created the backstory for this family and the house that I'm building for them. I will get to the story in a short while, but I will tell you, as you were able to see in the very beginning, this house is built in Chestnut Ridge world, and it is a small house which costs under 30,000. So it's not necessarily a starter home because that would be under 20,000 usually, but you can definitely fit a small family even if you start the new household here, because sometimes when you create the household through the story in The Sims, you are able to get more funds in the beginning. So now let's talk about the family who is going to live here. I had in my head story about a young couple who were high school sweethearts. They got together very early on their life, and they used to live in a countryside, but once they finished high school, they got engaged and they wanted to follow the dream of the couple, which was a life in a big city. So they moved away, started their lives, and they got into the career. The couple got married after a while and they got a daughter together. So let me introduce their names. The father of the family is called Patrick Newcomb and he is in the athletic career. Mom of the family is called Stacey Newcomb and she is in a culinary career, and the daughter's name is Alice. The problem what happened for this family is, as you can imagine, for a lot of young couples which got together very early on their lives, is that the mom and the father kind of grew apart as they grew older, and they figured out their dreams don't go along anymore. And after a while, when they were trying to make things up and to make it work, they did actually get divorced. Because this city life was always more of a dream of Patrick, Stacey and her daughter decided to start a new life in the countryside, and they moved back to Chestnut Ridge and they bought this house. Because this family is quite young, they didn't have that much of money, and that's the reason why I'm working with 30,000 Simoleons. This all is actually properly created in the game, so my family has the family tree where you can see mom, dad and a daughter, and the money were not cheated with either. The family had starting funds of 40,800 Simoleons, so I did split it. The dad kept 10,800, so he was able to keep the apartment in the city. He lives in San Myshuno, and Stacey with Alice did move to Chestnut Ridge and bought this kind of not run-down house, but also not very updated. Because I'm working with a limited budget, the house is not very big, but it fits to the countryside pretty well, I believe. Some of the furniture that you can see stayed here after the previous owner, so a lot of stuff is mismatched, but I guess that it adds up the charm of this house. Stacey and Alice are still in the process of unpacking and moving stuff in, and they still want to update certain bits, but for now, this is what we will be working with, and this house is what I will be playing the event with. So if you will follow me along, through the individual weeks, you will be able to see the story of this household or Stacey and Alice, and you can follow them along with me through all the weeks of the event. If you have trouble to build houses, let's say that you don't have much of inspiration, I always recommend to build this background story as I did for this family, because it will give you a certain character to the build that you want to make, and you will not be lost in a process. So as I said, I wanted this family to move back to the countryside, and I knew that I'm gonna be primarily using items which came with a horse ranch and cottage living. I think those two packs go very well together, and a lot of furniture has a similar style. So I really like to use those two when I want to build like a countryside house. I didn't restrict myself when I was building this house. However, I naturally try to not overuse a lot of packs, because I know that for a lot of you, if you are downloading my houses from the gallery, it may be an issue because you might not have all the packs. So sometimes I try to limit them to base game only and like 1, 2, 3 packs. This house is not limited. However, again, I didn't use everything from all the packs. So you can check it out yourself in the gallery if you want to download this house, how it looks like, what items I did use from individual packs, and you can decide yourself if you want to download this house to your game. I share basically all my speed builds for The Sims 4 in the gallery, and you can always find me there as absolutely same like my nickname is on YouTube. So feel free to download this house if you like it. It is the small one, but I did try to give it a certain charm, because I feel like I am really attached to this family already, and I did play with them just for a little while when I was playtesting this house, and I literally don't want to leave them, and I want to see how their lives will go along. Now let's talk about this event, which starts on 23rd of September, which is tomorrow, as I said in the beginning, and it's gonna be targeted at child Sims especially. The event will end on the 4th of November, so you have plenty of time to get all the rewards. And if you're familiar with events, last two, if I remember correctly, were actually extended due to some technical issues, but I wouldn't rely on that completely, so make sure that you will get your rewards before the 4th of November if you are able to do that. I don't know if you are fans of events or not. I actually do like them, because I feel like any free content for the game is quite good. Generally, you can play the events only if you have a base game which is free to play, so you don't need any extra content. However, in the last event, we did get some extra rewards if we had DLCs of The Sims. It was 4 different expansion packs, and I don't know the concept of this event because they didn't release any details until this moment where I'm filming the video, so I can't confirm if we will work with the same system or not, but we will see tomorrow. Now, it's been common when we are getting new expansion pack that we usually get event which starts ahead of it, and if you are following The Sims 4 news, you will be probably familiar with the new expansion pack which is coming out on October the 2nd, and it's called Adventure Awaits. That expansion pack is also heavily related to child Sims, however, it's not targeted at them only, but this is the reason why I believe that this event is primarily focused on child Sims. I have to admit that I was quite surprised that we are getting this expansion pack now, still quite early in fall, because I knew based on the news that I follow for The Sims 4 that after Businesses and Hobbies and Enchanted by Nature, we will still get one more expansion pack before the end of this year, but I was expecting that to be released more of in late November or beginning of December, because it makes sense that they would sell it before Christmas, and we are getting that now in October. So I am quite surprised about that. If you are following pattern from the previous games, The Sims 2 or The Sims 3, or actually even the original The Sims, we used to get expansion pack once in 6 months, and that pattern was never completely on date, but it used to be like that, that we used to get 2 expansion packs per a year. It did change a bit with the release of The Sims 4, because I believe we were waiting for some of the expansion packs longer than 6 months, but generally we got about 2 expansion packs per year. I have to admit that Adventure Awaits in the very beginning didn't excite me that much, because I was quite skeptical about what they will come with and how it's gonna fit with the game, if there's gonna be enough of new stuff, if there's gonna be enough of activities that I would feel like I am missing. But I also have to admit that more as they were releasing the trailers and more information about it, they did sell it to me, because I am all up to new content for the child Sims, because I feel like there's not enough of that. I did really love different playgrounds in The Sims 3 or even The Sims 2, the playground equipment that we had there. I know that it's quite simple, but I still miss it, and I wish that we had that in The Sims 4. And now, after 11 years that the game was released, we are finally getting new equipment for the playground, and I really hope it's gonna be worth it and it's gonna be nice, and we will be able to create some awesome playgrounds. I am looking forward to see what people will make and upload to the gallery, because a lot of simmers are very creative. So yeah, that's one of the items that I'm looking forward to have. There are other activities that I'm quite looking forward to have in the game. I am always up to new skills, new hobbies, which we didn't really get in businesses and hobbies. I'm still very sad about that we basically got just one hobby, which was the pottery. So I'm looking forward to have this expansion pack, because it will open up some more possibilities how we can play with The Sims 4, and I'm always up to it. If you saw the previous video where I was talking about the Adventure Awaits and what do I think about it, I did say when they were showing that Love Island slash Highland venue that I would prefer if there was a Survivor option, because Survivor is one of my favorite reality TV shows that I loved to watch. I don't really watch it anymore, but I used to watch that when I was younger, and I always enjoyed that. And I found out that it seems like we will be able to kind of simulate something similar in the game, so I'm quite looking forward to try that as well. But let's get back to this house and to the event, which we will be able to play very soon. As I said, I'm gonna make videos as usual for the entire 4 weeks of the event. I'm gonna be covering all the challenges that you will have to do. So if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, you can definitely click that button and subscribe to my channel, because I always do walkthrough through these events. As you can see, we did finish inside of the house, and now I'm unlocking the debug menu because I am very short on money. You can see that my family has only about 300 simoleons, and I still had to finish the outside. So this is a little bit of cheating probably, because I am getting stuff which doesn't cost anything from the debug. But I always recommend you to do that, because sometimes you can access things that you won't be able to access through the normal menu in the game. So you can try to blend the lot, for example, for certain worlds much better through this way, because I was using stuff which came out with the horse ranch, and I was trying to make this lot look like it really fits into this world. I am keeping it quite simple because this lot is not very big, so I don't have to decorate the outside area too much, and I will actually place some planters once I'm gonna be playing with the family, because Stacey loves gardening and because she also loves cooking. She should have some homemade grown crops that she can maybe preserve and can and save some money, because you know, life of a single mom is always very difficult. And because they have the basement, they can definitely store some homemade goodies there. So I am going here through finishing touches, looking around the house. I felt like I need something in the backside as well, but keeping that really simple because, as I said, this lot is not very big. So I think that just couple of items that can decorate it and give that a bit of that countryside charm are enough. And now I'm gonna show you a little bit of footage when my family moved in and how it looks like when the house is actually lived at. And as you can see, we are joining our family during their breakfast. Stacey made waffles with berries because she really enjoys cooking, and that's why I had to include some appliances for that. Little Alice is going for the first time to the school, so she's really excited and looking forward to make some new friends. And before she gets picked up by the school bus, she's still having a little chat in front of the TV with her mom. Stacey will have to go to work in the afternoon, so she's just preparing some grilled cheese for Alice when she will be back from school and she will have something nice to eat. She's also running some chores around the house, so she just loaded the laundry and she is just resting on the front porch. Alice is back from school and she brought a home project, so she's working on it, and then she's doing some of her homeworks, and after that she's also writing into her journal. Let's give a good night to Alice for now, but I am sure that if you will join me in these event videos, you will be able to meet her again. Thank you so much for watching for now, and I hope that I will see you in some of my other videos. Bye!